I'm here to talk about a very important matter at 3:45 a.m., which is no mode of transport is good enough for a girl, or at least me, in India, as far as I know, or as far as I've experienced in this 20 years of my existence. Okay, let's begin from the cheapest to the most expensive one that most of the people in India can afford, which means from train to cab. Okay, let's talk about train first. You, uh, there are advantages to traveling by train, which is you're not going to get stuck in traffic, right? But also, you can't really rely on a train. One, because you never know how late it's going to arrive, and on rare occasions it's going to arrive early before it was meant to be, and by the time you reach the platform exactly when it was actually supposed to reach, it has already left the platform, and that is just the worst thing. And you know what's even worse than that? When you, when the train departs or leaves the station in front of your eyes, so you have to be punctual, and even after you're punctual with time, you are probably not going to get the train that you wanted to get, and then you'll have to wait 10 or 15 minutes for the next one, which will be again late. And when you're already late in to reach at places, then it's the worst thing ever. And even worse if you have to switch trains. For me, sometimes I have to switch trains thrice. Like I have to take three trains just to reach at a place, and then I have to again travel through three trains and also a few autos, right, to come back, and that's so exhausting. And imagine on top of that, it's raining. Raining delays the trains even more, and you can't even use 10% or actually 20 to 30% of the seats in the train, because you can't sit on them. You can't they are slippery, it's dangerous, and rush, you are never not going to have a crowded train, especially in the CST side. So it's always a rush, and a rush in a rainy season when the train has already been delayed is just the worst combination ever. Okay. And as a girl, sometimes I am on time, and I've just reached the platform. I have to catch this train, but sometimes what happens is the train will stop a little farther than it's supposed to, which means the ladies section where I am supposed to go, the entry is the entry has changed. Why do I not know how to talk in English? This is, oh my god. Now, the place where I had been waiting for the past 10 or 15 minutes, that this is from where I have to step in the train, it has changed, and now it is further, or it is not further, and it's there. I can't speak. What the hell? Anyway, so now I have to run, and sometimes I am not able to catch a train even when I was right on time, because the train stopped farther than it was supposed to. You get it? Because I am not going to travel through the general, the what is it called? The train's bogie. Am I uneducated now? Anyway, do you get my point? I hope you relate. Okay. And apart from all this everyone faces, right? Most of the people face. But when you're a girl, you also need to be always constantly aware of your surroundings and the people you are surrounded by. You have to keep a bag in front of you so that you're safe, no one is pushing you, no one is touching you, but then you have to make sure that the people around you are not suspicious. With there's so much to think of, and by the time you reach the location you're already extremely exhausted because so much of your energy went into just making sure that you are safe and you reach safely, and that there is no creepy person around you staring at you or wanting to do something at you, which there are always, not probably but always, at least 10 to 20 people who look at you. And it doesn't matter if you are wearing plain clothes or whatever. Yeah, that is one thing, that you can't dress the way you want to if you are going to use public transport. Like, you can't even wear tight, you can't even wear loose clothes and walk in peace if you're in a public setting, and if you're a girl. Now even boys are not safe, but like, get it, even if you're wearing loose clothes you still have to be extremely aware of your surroundings. And I hate the stairs in any train platform. I hate stairs in general, and then you have to climb the stairs, and most of the time you can't wait for the crowd to go first and then you climb the stairs. You are also part of the crowd which climbs the stairs right after you have gotten off the train. So there are people just stuck to your body almost, and you have to be very aware that the person behind you or the person beside you or the person who's just going to push everyone and go up, everyone, you have to be aware of everyone. Like, even in escalators, even who is standing behind you, are they standing too close to you? They need to be away even if it's crowded. So sometimes, this is a tip from my end, what I do is, in a stairs setting or in escalators, I will ask a lady or a girl to stand behind me. Can you stand behind me, if that's okay? So sometimes they say yes, sometimes they just ignore me and they're like, why? No, they don't even say no, they just ignore me. So I'm like, okay. Anyway, but it works sometimes. But another suggestion would be to not travel alone. If you have someone who you travel with, then the energy that it's going to take you will reduce a lot, I think. Okay. And you are probably going to have to catch an auto after you have reached the final station, and then you need to figure out which side is east, which side is west, and you need to be like, are there any share autos here? And the auto drivers will probably want to scam you, and they will probably not be using meters, and even if they are, you know already that they have hacked the meters and they have made it in a way that will cost you a lot more than it should, whatever, right? So train, I don't like traveling through train. Okay, now let's talk about a way better option, which is traveling by cab. Even, and I'll tell you why it's not good enough. Traveling by cab, it's expensive, yes, and sometimes I've faced the problem of not getting my cab on time, like not being able to book a cab on time when I need it the most. When I'm ready on time, I just need to book the cab, and it should take only a few minutes, right? Because I am not only using one app, I'm using Uber, Rapido, InDrive, and I'm using like four different apps from where you're supposed to book one cab for one destination. I'm using all of them at the same time, and yet it has happened multiple times with me that I'm not able to book a cab, and I book like one auto after half an hour of trying to book cabs. And I'm not even like compromising on the payment. I'm ready to pay. I'm adding 50 rupees or 100 rupees tip, and even after that, I'm not able to book the cab. I hate it. I hate it. And okay, now you have booked the cab has come. You need to send your location to a trusted person, and a lot of times these cab drivers, their information on the app doesn't align with them, as in they are using someone else's car. So that person who is probably the person who is the driver is not even the person. It's not even his identity on the app. He's some different person, and he's like, oh, this is my friend's car, so I'm just, you know, that's not okay. That's not okay. Like, there is no information about you on the app. Why are you doing this, and they also, cabs have emergency buttons. Most of the cabs, even though all should, most of the cabs have emergency buttons inside. And I assumed, if you are in a situation where you need to press the emergency button, it's what it's going to do is it's going to inform the police, or it's going to let police know your location, and you will be rescued. Somehow you are going to be rescued, right, from that situation. No. I asked a couple cab drivers, what will happen if I press this emergency button? I have gotten 100% response from their side saying nothing will happen, and most of these companies just install these buttons for show. They don't even work, and even if they work, the call will only go to the company's office, where someone might probably not even pick up, so they don't work. How amazing! What an amazing piece of information for me to know. I hate this. And uh, even in cab is still way better, uh, and compared to trains, when it comes to being stared at, a lot less of your energy is going being depleted. But also, when it comes to cabs, you are technically trusting a stranger with your life in those minutes or in those moments. You are not in control of if you're going to live or die. That person is. Isn't that insane? And you know the roads in India, right? They are the worst, the worst, the worst. And a lot of times, these ACs in the cabs, in the cars, they don't work properly, and you feel hot, and you're like, भैया, can you, आप एसी चालू कर सकते हो क्या, आप एसी बढ़ा सकते हो क्या, एंड व्हेन एसी बढ़ जाता है तो इट्स टू कोल्ड, एंड देन एसी कम होता है इट्स टू हॉट, एंड हाउ मेनी टाइम्स are you going to ask the person to lower or higher the temperature, if you can lower the temperature at all. And also, of course, you have to be constantly aware of the driver. If the driver is creepy, you have to send your live location, and you have to make sure you are on track, like the driver is actually following the Google map, or the driver is actually following the route and not going off the route, which hasn't happened to me yet. Also, it's very unpredictable. Most of the times, 100% of the times, you're not going to reach on time, even if you should actually, when you're booking a cab and you're paying the price. But There's nothing you can do about it, right? It's the Indian roads, it's the traffic. You're always going to face traffic. Even if you have predicted traffic, you're still going to get late somehow. It will just happen. And this has also happened with me, uh, that these cab drivers, they don't have their official documents or driver's license with them, and when the traffic police or the police, they demand these documents from them, they don't have it, and then the police tells you book another cab, and you know, that has happened with me. And then I was barely able to find one auto after half an hour of trying to book anything, and that happened midway when I was already late and there was already traffic and it was raining. And then the traffic police told me book another cab because he'll have to pay a fine and he doesn't have documents and all. And then I was just standing in the at the side of the road just trying to book another cab or another auto, whatever, from four different apps. Ah, each have their experiences, right? Each have an experience of its own. But I prefer cabs far more than trains. Mm-mm. There's another option of driving yourself. But if you're going to drive yourself, and for at least in my case, it's driving a scooty. If you're going to drive a scooty, first of all, you have gotten ready, and now you're gonna get out and you're gonna drive. If you're gonna drive, you need two handkerchiefs, one for your face and one for your hair, or else both are going to get ruined. Face is going to get dirty, hair is going to get stiff, and even after you have used two handkerchiefs and a helmet on top, your hair is going to get sweaty, and you'll have to wash your face in the end, regardless. And of course, traffic, potholes, rain, deadly combination. I don't like driving. I don't like driving in Mumbai roads. I like Navi Mumbai roads, but I don't like driving. So I don't really drive to locations if they are far away. I hate, and you know what? When I have tried when I drive to the location which I'm going there for the first time. So I need to use Google Maps, and it's very impractical because what, at least I don't know if there is a way you should do it, but if you don't have a stand for your phone which you have personally installed in your two-wheeler, which is also very unsafe because anyone can snatch the phone. If you don't have that, like me, then what I need to do is after every two turns, I have to stop my scooty, and then I have to remove my phone, and I have to look where am I going, where am I headed, which direction do I need to take now, and then I try to memorize it. Okay, left, and then right, but which left was it? Was it this left or the left which is going to come? And 99% of the times I'm not on track and I'm always off route, and I just hate it. It's so difficult. And when I try asking the locals there which direction I need to go, all the locals will tell me different directions somehow. I hate it. I hate it. So I never choose the option to drive by myself. Yeah, these are the three main options that I can think of. Auto, auto is good. You can jump out of the auto at any time. But auto drivers drive very recklessly. You know, the meter is hacked. And auto and rain is also not a good combination because it has happened with me that it was not raining when I booked the auto, but when I'm in the auto, it has started raining, and there are already potholes filled with water and cars all around me, and cars have directly splashed like liters of water on my face, body, clothes, everything, and like I was damp, just sitting in the auto like. I know, I know. And don't even consider. I'm not even going to consider bike rides as an option. No, I mean I have booked a bike once, and it was nice experience, but I'm not going to recommend that. Of course, it was only kind of nice. It was not entirely nice. You have to be so close to the drivers, and the driver was like, they will start asking, and yeah, any drivers are going to ask you so many questions, and I have lied a lot of times. They'll ask me, oh, how old are you, which school do you go to, what do you study, and I used to innocently just answer because I did not think they might be asking this just to get information out of me. But you have to be safe out there. So, and it's interesting, it's funny, it's fun to lie and just make different stories each time, actually. Another thing, if you're booking a cab, auto, whatever, I get very conscious of this, that when I have done that, they know my home, they know where I live now. Isn't that insane? They know where I live. Every cab driver, every auto driver that I've ever booked. And of course, the number is a lot, right? The number of drivers that I have used, it must be around like 40, 50. And I know this is very hypothetical because no, they might not even remember, but they know where I live, at least for that moment of time. And that's crazy to me. So I have thought about it, like, should I get off earlier than when I have to, so that I kind of trick them into assuming that they know, but they don't know my location. Why should, and then I catch myself being annoyed that why should I have to think about all this, man? It's too energy depleting. I don't want to spend my energy on things like this. It's annoying. I want to save all of my energy for after I have reached that location, right? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We need to be better, man. Do better. Do better. What is this? No mode of transport is good. Okay. I think I have covered most of what I wanted to, and I should rest now. I know you relate. I was going to say I hope you relate, but I know you relate. We all need to stick together. Actually, I have covered so many negative topics that I'm going to add one positive point. I like how in trains, uh, especially in the females section, we all are. I know we all will fight sometimes, push each other. That has happened with me. I was trying to get out of the train after my station had arrived, and always there are always people who get off even before the train has stopped, and and if it's a rush, then most of them are already getting off even before the train has stopped. I can never catch a moving train or step off a moving train. I just can't, and I don't want to. So I end up being just pushed out. And this one time, this lady, she actually, like, just pushed me outside. And there was already a whole crowd standing outside, already trying to get in even before the train has stopped properly. And that lady just pushed me into the crowd in front of me. Okay. And i fell I fell on another lady in front of me, and I was completely off balance, guys. I was completely off balance. I was just thrown off, like, with all her strength. She pushed me someone, I don't know what happened, and I just fell on this lady. And I don't know if it's too much for me to assume that that lady would be nice to me, or she would like lend me her hand to pick me up or something. Ki, are you okay? Like, because I really fell hard. So I just fell on that lady. And you know what that lady did on whom I fell? She acted as if I was like some untouchable girl or something. Okay, and imagine I am the lady, and I'm being put. I like someone is falling on me. I'm falling on this lady. I'm the lady. You know what she did? She 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 redirected my direction and she just pushed me on the floor. So I was falling on her and she just went like you and she just like. I don't know if this is normal, but I never imagined that reaction out of a woman, at least. She just went like, and then she like pushed me and I fell on the floor. You know what? I did nothing. You know what? I did nothing. I stood up and I just stared at her constantly. I kept staring at her. And I'm just like staring at her, standing there staring at her. And it was crowdy and she was trying to get on the train. And she was very aware that I was staring at her. She kept looking back and she kept trying to catch the train. You know what? She couldn't catch the train. It was too crowdy and she ended up missing the train. And I stood there till she missed the train and the train started moving. And I stood there and I was like, and then I left. And somehow I was so satisfied that this is her karma. Anyway, I was trying to say something good. A good point about traveling with through train is that at least in the female section, they have enough what would you call enough manners to kind of get in line for a seat, that they'll ask which station are you getting off on, and then they'll decide ki please give me your seat when you leave, instead of just people just trying to sit and push anywhere. I like that. I think that's very courteous, like you have already booked your seat, and that's smart and courteous. Yeah, I like that. That's all I'm going to say for now. Bye. One last point. If you are waiting for me to discuss about traveling through buses, please don't even get me started. I'm not going to talk about that because in my mind I didn't even consider that as a mode of transport that I could travel from. I am never in my life going to travel from a bus, like a no AC bus and a bus in general. So I'm not going to talk about that. And we don't need to discuss the reasons. I know you know. Don't make me talk about it. Bye.